Viewers of this channel no doubt know that I am a fan of the 80s, and not just in the world of professional wrestling, but pop culture in general. So, you know, talking about the segment from Raw with Cyndi Lauper, Wendi Richter, Roddy Piper, Layla, and Heath Slater, you know, I'm going to I'm looking at it kind of through rose-colored glasses, but I'm also looking at it as a modern-day wrestling fan. And let me start off, for the record, Roddy Piper. Loved him, still love him. He is the man. Chad recently met him. He is on my list of guys that I definitely want to meet one of these days. So let's also highlight this. Cyndi Lauper, she's so unusual. I was 12, probably 12 or 13 years old when this record or album, I guess, taped cassette came out. Absolutely loved Cyndi Lauper, and then she got involved, of course, with the WWF back then and the Rock and Wrestling Connection, and really that's, I think, what kind of hooked me and kept me interested in wrestling. I had started off as watching more of like World Class and Wrestling in the Chase, so seeing Cyndi Lauper and some mainstream people get into the WWF really appealed to me. And while I'm on that, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Cyndi Lauper should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. If you look at just contributions by celebrities as far as making wrestling mainstream, she's got to be on the top of that list. I mean, she has to be if you really sit down and think about it. And for the record, I still also have Pile Driver on cassette. And of course, the old school Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov t-shirt I got when I turned 14 years old, and I am 39 years old now, so you can do the math on that one. This shirt is old, you can read the newspaper through it, but I wear it for special occasions like this video. So anyway, the segment I thought was fine. I wish, though, that the WWE had done a little bit more in promoting the fact that Cyndi Lauper was going to be there and explaining who Cyndi Lauper was, or not maybe so much who she is, but her involvement in wrestling. I think the little 2-minute package or 3-minute package that ran before the commercial break, before she came out, kind of scratched the surface. But I wonder how many fans, I'd be willing to guess that probably 75 to 80% of the fans watching had no idea or very limited knowledge about the existence of the Rock and Wrestling Connection, and you know, everything that kind of happened 27 years ago. And you know, if you think about it too, I think that was probably before Heath Slater was even born, and you know, most of the WWE universe was not born then. You know, Chad and I were talking about it earlier. It would have been great, or it would be great, if the WWE would put out a DVD collection of the Rock and Wrestling Connection to kind of show fans what kind of, you know, it all started there. That's kind of what launched WrestleMania, and then of course launched this whole global phenomenon with the WWF back at that time. So the segment, I thought, was okay. Again, I love all the legends that were involved in it, including Cyndi Lauper. I like Heath Slater. He's really starting to grow on me, and I don't know if that's the intent or if they're going to continue to make him the flunky, so to speak, but I like what they are doing with him. Not so much as the humiliating and embarrassing him with the legends goes, but it's getting him out there. It's giving him some name recognition and some identity. So hopefully that trend, as far as getting Heath Slater out there, will continue. I don't like it, though, when wrestling companies rehash things from the past. You know, they did this several years ago with Piper smashing the coconut on Rikishi's head like he had done to Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and then, you know, Cyndi Lauper smashing that album, the framed album, over Heath Slater's head, was reminiscent of, you know, the whole Rock and Wrestling Connection and the War to Settle the Score when Piper did it to Captain Lou Albano. And Piper kind of explained that. So, you know, I don't know. The old school Mark in me wants to enjoy it and just take it for what it was, just a couple of minutes of entertainment. The modern day fan, though, wants to look at this critically and say, you know, do a better job at building this up and explaining why these people are important to the business. And they did a brief job of that. And I would like to know, modern day fans, what did you think? Did you know who any of these players were? Obviously the fans popped when Piper's music hit, but for Cyndi Lauper and for Wendi Richter, I thought it was a lukewarm reception. Of course, Richter was inducted into the Hall of Fame a couple years ago, so she's kind of been out there, but not really. But it was also nice to see a couple of legends come back that haven't been around very much. You know, WWE tends to rely on Dusty Rhodes, Sergeant Slaughter, Roddy Piper, Iron Sheik. They all kind of come back. We saw Vader, was it last week, came back. You know, Cyndi, Lauper, and Wendi Richter came back this week. And the other thing, too, is they really had nothing to do with Monday Night Raw. And I know we're kind of celebrating 1,000 episodes of Raw, so that was another thing that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But you know what? Let's take it for what it's worth. It was a fun night. I enjoyed the segment. Again, though, you know, I'm pointing out some criticisms of it, which, again, that whole wrestling hypocrisy thing that I've talked about before. But let me know what you think. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and thanks so much for watching.